everyone.
Hello, everyone. Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Thank you for joining us. It's Jean and myself again tonight. Tony is working backstage for us, bless him. So we'll keep him in mind. Jean is going to open in prayer, and then I'm going to do the Lord's Prayer, followed by a small poem. Okay, Jean, I'll hand over to you, sweetheart.
Thank you. If you'd like to join me just for those few seconds in silence, please. Heavenly Father, love of light, once again I ask if you would open the veil between the two worlds for this short time, to bring the highest and the brightest to work with us, to prove that life is eternal, Father. We ask that all the energy and all the healing go to each and every one here this evening, Father, and always, and for the terrible things that are happening again lately. We ask that love go out to each and every one. We ask that love go to the animal kingdom, to our children as they will be our future, Father. Also to Mother Earth, to the war-torn countries, don't forget those as well. To each and every one, Father, we ask that love and healing go to everyone. Anyone who's taking their transition, that there is light to guide them safely on their way. And at the end of this service, Father, we'll hand back to you, which is rightfully yours. Amen.
Amen. Our Father, who art in Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. I've got a small poem here that I would like to read out to you. And I've just called it The Warrior. And this is for all those people out there who have heavy hearts and feel as though they've got everything on their shoulders at the moment. When the world on your shoulders and your heart feels full of lead, and your stomach churns like butter, and the voice inside your head is reminding you of everything you've ever said and done, all your failures and regrets, all the times your fear has won. Take a minute to remember that you've survived this all before. You've battled and you've conquered when you thought you had no more. You are stronger than you realize. You are brave and wise and kind. And you know you're so much bigger than the doubts that fill your mind. So breathe it in, then let it out. Allow the ebb and flow. You can win the war, you always do. You are a warrior, you know.
Oh, that's nice, Irene. Thank you.
That's all right, you're welcome. Well, I know there's a lot of people out there at the moment that have got heavy hearts for various reasons, and they feel as though they've got the world and his wife on the shoulders. So
Well, it's
I
true,
hope that's a little bit of comfort. And we know that there's families and friends around them as well that like to help. But we've also know that there's people out there that haven't got friends and families around and that they are on their own. So I just thought I'd put that in for those people. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Right. We're doing
Thank you
blind
so much.
readings tonight, I believe, Jean.
Yes,
So
that's right, don't you?
if you have a link while I'll get myself prepared, please carry on.
Oh, right, thank you. So I've lost my earplugs. Right then, I don't know where they've gone. Right then, sorry about this, people. But it's nice that so many can come and see me and Irene work again, and we still send our love across to Tony, as he's taken a few days off rest. So let's go with it then, because at the moment, can I just say I've got a gentleman with me, not very tall, as he comes in, I'd say about 5'10", 5'11", quite nice in build, and he's telling me he's got a bit of a little pod, so he's got a little belly on him as he's talking in here. I don't know, it would have something to do, I don't know if he knows somebody on the buses or like the film The Buses, because he's just telling me the buses. So I don't know if it's the on the buses or what, but he's just making me aware of the buses. So I will ask him a little bit more as he comes along, but he's just coming in to show me. All I can see, he must have wore like a uniform. I'm not saying military though. I don't see a military uniform. it's just showing me the white shirt and just dark trousers. So I'm not sure what he does. And he's also, even though he's talking about the buses and the bus, he's also talking about a porter in the hospitals. So I don't know if you can understand someone, oh no, somebody who works in the hospitals as a porter, because he's bringing this in as well for me. So if anybody can just understand that little bit.
Nothing at the moment, Jean.
Right. I know he's got a walkie-talkie, so I know he does something on them lines because I can see the walkie-talkie. So somebody talks to him and he answers back on this.
Okay. If anybody can understand, go on.
Sorry, I know there's something to do with the buses, but they are taking me to the hospital. So I do believe they either worked in the hospitals or they've got some connection to the hospital.
Susan Pollitt says her granddad was a bus driver, Jean.
He was a bus driver. Right,
Yes.
thank you. So, sorry, so can you understand where the hospital connection comes in then, please, Susan? Because I've still got the hospital connection, so I don't know. I can see a porter, so I don't know if somebody visits the hospital quite a lot or they can understand where the hospital connection fits. Something to do as well with the hospital.
Nothing yet, lovey.
Just got the hospital. So there's got to be a connection. If Susan can take the bus driver, that's fine. But can she understand where they'd be?
Susan's brother-in-law worked as a porter in a hospice. So that
Right,
could
so it's
be
an hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still the hospital, isn't it? And right,
Yeah.
thank you. We'll find out where we are because I could see it plain and they were telling me. Right then, is it the same Susan I'm working with?
It is Susan Pollitt, yes.
Right, thank you, because I can't see on my phone. Right then, Susan, sweetheart, you said that you could understand the bus driver. Now we've sorted out where the porter fits in with the hospital, darling. When we've got all this, so you can understand, sweetheart, why this lady's coming in then and saying that somebody's. We've all missed appointments at hospital at the moment, but where there is something to do with blood pressure and medication needs all sorting out, sweetheart. Because this lady's coming in, she's a bit smaller than myself, not very big in the build at all, and she's just saying that she's not concerned, Julie, but she's just saying that medication and blood pressure's not right at the moment. The lady would be a bonny lady and she didn't say a lot, but she'd like to make sure that everybody was well and kept well. And she'd advise them even though she wouldn't listen to herself. Can she understand that?
Nothing's come back, Susan. Oh, hang on. Yes, yeah, can understand that.
Right, thank you. Because I can't see anything, Irene, so you're gonna have to help me out.
I will
So she
do,
can
lovely.
understand. She can understand everything I've told her.
Yes.
Right then, Susan.
Yes.
Thank you, sweetheart, for taking that because then I can work it. I do apologise. It's just that I can't see anything what comes up because I can't get my laptop working or my iPad. So you can understand that, Susan. So can I just say then, sweetheart, that you can understand where somebody actually passed away? I know you said you've got the hospital connections, but where they passed away in the hospital bed, sweetheart. And what they're saying is they would have liked to have been at home, but with different circumstances, it couldn't be met. They couldn't make it at home. So they had to be in the hospital or the hospice. But they're saying that's all right. But I do know that there were about 3. She's talking about 3 what was with them who passed. So 3 must have been at the hospital when they passed, darling, because she's talking about the 3. I wished I could see it.
Yeah, very much so.
Right, thank you. It's really difficult, isn't it? Because with my iPad not working. But I know there's 3, sweetheart. She's talking about that. she's talking about, can you understand, or can you ask, darling, where somebody had taken her rings off in the hospital? Because she's saying that they're taking my rings off in the hospital or the hospice or whatever. The rings got took off, and there wasn't a doctor. There was a doctor she weren't right keen on, because she telling me that they were a bit not a, well, yeah, I'm going to say it, a bit abrupt. That where they spoke as though they couldn't take anything in, and they didn't talk to the person they spoke over.
Yeah, she's saying yes.
Right, thank you, because I'm getting as though they're speaking over him and they're not talking to him. It's as if they can't understand. And what they're saying is, yes, we could understand everything. We didn't miss what they were saying, so I don't know why they spoke above us. And this is how they're going. They are on about, bless you, Susan, they are on about you, darling, at the moment, trying to get your head together and your head around different things. I know the passing would have only been within the last 3 years. They're telling me 3. I know I've gave you 3, but they're on about the last 3 years. So it's recent, because they give me a time, and that's about 3 years, darling. So I don't know you can understand the passing within the last 3 years. And you've got to get your head together, darling. You're going to need to get all your head together, because there's some things you've got to be sorting out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
And
can. Yeah.
Thank you, Susan, because they're saying that, I don't know, you sound a bit like me, darling. I seem to be the most sensiblest one in my family, and it seems as though you've had to grow up rather fast and really quickly to deal with different situations. And this is what they're saying, and it's a shame, because I did, darling. I had to grow up fast because I lost my parents young. But this is how they're coming in with this. I do know, excuse me, that somebody actually did have the cancer of the lungs, because they're making me aware of this. And also the tummy bloated, darling. I don't know if it's the same person or if it's a separate person, but I've got the lung cancer, and I've also got somebody what the tummy swollen. I do think there could have been 2 separate ones. Feels I've got two connections very close, because my tummy's swelling. Or is it you, darling, what has the blown tummy with, I don't know, IBS or something? Because they're giving me a blown up tummy here.
She's not answered yet, Jean.
I know it's taking its time, doesn't it?
It is. It could be atmospherics with the weather.
I don't know there's a lung condition, a cancer, but they're making me tummy bloater. So I don't know if it's the same person or if it's Susan can understand where somebody's got that problem.
Yes, 2 people, brother and sister.
Right, thank you, Susan. I'm so sorry it's working like this. Normally I can see it myself. But as I'm coming in, darling, I have got to say, I know we're in the month of June at the minute, darling, but you can understand this month is a rough month for you. It's a rough month. There's quite a bit happened in June around you and your family, sweetheart. Because I also feel as though you lost about four people really close together. You seem to have a run of passings. I'm not saying they're all June, but you had a run of passings, darling, where you kept thinking, not another, and they just kept backing up on you, darling. And it took a big toll on you, really big toll. All right then, sweetheart. And I don't know my flowers, love, I'll be honest, but I've got to give you all the colours of the rainbow, because they're fetching the rainbow in, and butterflies, because they're fetching all these colours for the upliftment for you. And they're talking about lilies. So I do know you can understand the lilies. And I know, all right, sweetheart, somebody had a book. Can you understand where the book is? They had a special book, darling. But I do also feel that somebody had a book at the passing. They had a book of flowers. Not a pillar, it was like a book. Something to do with the book, they're telling me. What book?
Not come back yet, Jean.
All right, I'll carry on a little bit. You should.
Yeah.
But I don't know, there's something about the book, sweetheart, and they're telling me about this. And also my hand's cramping, so you can understand where the hand, I don't know if it's yourself, darling, where your hand had cramp. It's having a bit of cramps in one of your hands because mine's curling. So you can understand if it's not you, sweetheart, somebody where the hand would curl it, so as though it's arthritis, and once it locks, it locks.
Collect butterflies brochures. Yes, book is very relevant.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you can understand it, sweetheart, because it all means a lot to you, and it's how they're sending their love through to you. Okay. She's just having a bit of a joke, this lady here. And it's not very nice because somebody got stung by a bee recently, or a wasp. It's not very nice, but you can understand where somebody got stung by a bee or a wasp recently. And somebody likes to feed the birds, because I'm hearing the song Feed the Birds, Feed the Birds. Like Tuppence a Bag, that song. There's so much love. And I also want to say, wait a minute then, darling, I'm looking at my iPad. I've also got to say 2:45, sweetheart. They're talking about 2:45. So I don't know.
A granddaughter got stung last week.
Right. As long as you can understand it, because
Yeah.
it's not very nice, is it? It hurts. But this 2:45, darling, they're talking about 2:45. So I do know that means something to you. And them just taking you back in a childhood, which, well, I never did it, but my sister did, where somebody cut somebody's hair. And that's just bringing that childhood memory in, darling, for that bit of upliftment for you. They thought, well, we'll cut the hair, and we did it. Thought you were a hairdresser, and you chopped the hair off, they're telling me. Oh, and somebody drew on a dolly. Somebody drew on a doll. She just talked about the doll where somebody drew on it. I don't know if they thought they were putting makeup on this doll, or they drew on this doll. And it's a memory, sweetheart. I'm taking you back as a memory.
She says, ha ha, me.
I can see it showing it me, the drawn all over it. I'm going to say good night. God bless to you, darling, but I'll let Irene continue with that. But lovely talking to you, even though I can't see you.
Thank you, Jean. As Jean was talking about the dolly, I also got, and don't take this the wrong way, Jean, I got all tomato sauce around Jean's mouth, or baked bean juice or something. So there's a little one that used to be a very, you know, when they get the spoon, they try and feed themselves, and they got it all around the mouth and all down the clothes, and that's quite hilarious, really. But that's children for you. I've also got to give you, sweetheart, with your granddad, with the buses, I've got to give you an old-fashioned clippy. You know, the conductor and conductresses that used to be on, they had the clipping machines, they used to call them the clippies. So he would have known a clippy who he worked on the buses with. Okay, and going through the hospice and the hospital with the porters, took the job very, very seriously and very, very good at it. He had a lot of time for the patients, and he used to talk to them and sometimes make them laugh. And that's all I've got for you, sweetheart. So I will say night and God bless. Okay, thank you. Right. Okay, Jean. I've got, as we was talking to Susan there, I got in my head, I know that you got Feed the Birds stuff. Now, what was the song that I got? I can't remember now. It's gone. I've got somebody here with me who would have either suffered with Alzheimer's or a stroke type condition, because one side of my brain and my head has gone blank, and I can't remember what I was saying, and it feels like I'm early stages of Alzheimer's before they passed, or they had some sort of a stroke or some sort of bleed on the brain, because one side of my brain and one side of my face has gone really dark and black, and I just feel my face coming down. So if anybody can take somebody that's had that passed this before they passed to spirit. They had a stroke or the onset of Alzheimer's. I've got a gentleman that's come forward. Thank you, Julie. I've got a gentleman that's come forward, and this gentleman is, I would say, quite stocky. I wouldn't say he wasn't a giant of a man, but he was very broad on top, like he either worked with weights or he was a builder or something like that. And this gentleman is saying that he knows who I'm talking about, but he's not giving me no name. This gentleman's standing about 5'8", 5'9", something like that. But like I said, he was quite broad-shouldered, and he was very stockily built. He did work with his hand. He's telling me the building trade, and I don't know if he was a labourer or a brickie or somebody like that, but he's wanting to speak to a lady that's down here on the earth plane. So this would be a family member. Where have you gone, Jean? This would be a family member, and it would have it would be somebody that was quite close. I can't quite hear, but I think he's saying dad, but it could be granddad. And this is somebody who had a small family business, who worked for themselves. He's giving me the name of George, and I know there's a lot of Georges around, but he's giving me the name of George, and he's also giving me Alan as well. If anybody could take this, come on, sweetheart. Right, Deborah, your mum-in-law had Alzheimer's and a stroke. Right, can you take me the gentleman that was the builder, please, sweetheart? Because if you can, we're sort of almost there. And the name of George and Alan. They must mean something in or around the family. He's talking about the lady. He's talking about mum-in-law, though, sweetheart, who had the stroke and the Alzheimer's. I don't know if that lady is. I'm assuming that this lady's spirit side, sweetheart. And what he's saying that wants you to know is that he's connected with her spirit side. But there's some concerns down here. I don't know if it's you, but around your health as well. You can't take that name. Right, okay. Look in the family, he's saying, sweetheart. Look right back in the family. And Alan is more recent, but George is an old name. This is what he's telling me, darling. Can you take me the builder, sweetheart, please? Because this gentleman was either a builder or a brickie, or he worked somewhere in the building trade because he was quite muscly. And he liked to pint in a game of darts. He liked the old pub games when you used to be able to go and have darts and crib and games like that in the pubs. Right, it might not be that. No, right, okay, sweetheart. Is there anybody else that can take this gentleman then? Because I'm giving you all the information. So we've
Irene,
got, yeah.
Sorry, can I just say, I know you're talking about the builder, darling, and or either worked something like that. I've got, while I'm connecting in here, that somebody's roof. I've got the tiler, you know, the roofer.
Yeah.
And somebody needs either a new roof or something needs doing to the roof, because I'm seeing some tiles. So I do believe whoever connected can understand where the tiles on the roof need doing, or they know somebody having a new roof.
Right. Well, Megan's
I've got the scaffolding.
Okay, just a second, because Megan's just come on and said her partner's granddad is Alan.
Right.
And now I know that there's a George in the family. So I mean, if this is for Megan, I'd rather you did it, because obviously with our relationship, with her being my granddaughter, you know, not that I don't want to talk to you, Megan, but you know, but she's saying it sounds like Luke's granddad, and Luke is her partner. Okay.
Is this with the builder or the
Yeah.
roof?
Well, I don't. Megan, was Luke's granddad a builder or a roofer? Can
I've
you
got
just tell me, please?
somebody who needs a new roof,
Well,
or something
Ed's
to do
just
with the
put a
roof.
new roof on one of his sheds, but he's done that himself.
Like, no, that don't feel right, Irene. I feel as though
Okay. No, that's absolutely fine.
I don't want to say that just to make it fit, because I don't
No,
feel that.
no, absolutely. I fully agree with you. No.
I've got scaffolding and I know that I'm going high.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know
Okay.
if it's an house roof or something like that, because I've got scaffolding.
Right. Okay. So we've got a builder, a roofer, a scaffolder, and we've got the name of Alan. I know there's a George in the family. Megan says that she understands. So, right. Okay. If you've got any more, Jean, please carry on, but it's coming through as well with, well, again, and Leander. I can take a lot of it. Leander Howard. We know Leander, don't we? Right. Okay. Well, I don't think it's for Deborah. Let me just ask. Luke's not sure. Right.
Can they understand
Tracy.
where the dog is then? Because I've got dogs, some days either bred dogs or the race dogs, because
Right.
there's something to do with breeding dogs or racing. There's something to do with either racing dogs or
Right.
breeding them.
Okay.
Well, hang on,
Tracy
I need a new roof. Tracy.
Yeah. Alan's
Ah,
son is a roofer. My
thank
dad,
you.
George. Right. So we could be well with Tracy, Jean. Right. Okay. Can you understand the racing dogs that Jean's got with
Or
this,
somebody bred
Tracy,
dogs. If it's not racing
or
dogs, the
somebody?
bred dogs.
You carry on, sweetheart, because you've got
Because
it.
I'm not saying if they're racing dogs, but I know somebody bred dogs, because I've got quite a lot of little puppies running around and they're making them yap a lot. But you said you got the gentleman, where I've got a lady coming in on this link as well. And as this lady comes in, I know she wouldn't have been a very tall lady at all, would have been quite petite in a build. I do know she lost quite a lot of weight prior to her passing, bless her, because she's telling me that about, that sounds awful this, but where they get the baggy chin, she's saying, she don't mind me saying it, but she lost a lot of weight, and so she was like skin, she's telling me, and she said I had a lovely colour and then my colour drained. So through her illness, her colour drained, bless her. And she says there were quite a few things wrong with me, but I kept going, I kept picking myself up. As one knocked her down, something else would pick her up. And that's what she'd be like. She's the only thing
Right.
I didn't like is when they give me a beaker to cut a drink out of.
Tracy can take the dogs.
Right. I know I've just said about the dogs and I've fetched this lady in, but can
Yeah.
you understand where the pig farm were then, Tracy? Or someone had pigs, or they've got something where they're like collecting pigs? Because they're fetching me pigs as well, and I've got one of those big belly pop pigs. So I don't know if they knew about the pigs or the collective pigs.
Yes. Yes, you can
Yes.
take that, Jean. So you're obviously with Tracy.
I'm with Tracy, right, because
Yeah,
they're
I
fetching
think
this
so,
in.
because she can take everything.
Right, thank you. Because they're just fetching this in as well, sweetheart, with these pigs, and they're making me laugh really, because they were very friendly pigs, and there's got to be one what were a favourite, and it were like a dog, and it would follow you. And I don't know about pigs, but this would follow you. And if it could
Oh,
have, they would have had it in the house. They would have actually took it in house if they could, and they was allowed to, because it were that tame. And this is what they were showing me. But as same as I've got these pigs, I've got where they would have had chickens and just, I'm not saying a big holding, but would have had a few little bits and bobs, probably chickens and ducks and something like that.
My sister lives in the pig of Leeds and collects pigs.
Right, thank you.
So there we
Because
go.
they're just fetching them all. So have we spoke to Tracy before?
I think we did a couple of weeks ago.
Ah,
When we
because they're
was
just
doing the
saying you spoke.
photos. When we was doing the photos, there was
Right.
a
You
picture
just said you
of
spoke to her. That's all
yeah,
they're saying. You spoke to her.
yeah.
So can I just say then, Tracy, because you're getting a bit of a telling off here. I don't know if it's you, darling, or somebody very close what's drinking too much caffeine. So and they're talking about the coffee, drinking too much coffee. The moaning about not being able to sleep and having the headaches, but it's down to drinking too much coffee, darling, they're saying. So if they just lifted up off the coffee a little bit and they need to drink a bit more water, drink a
Yeah,
bit
she's
more
saying
water,
yeah.
even if you do, because I feel as though they won't drink water because they don't like it. So they're saying have the flavoured water. So you've got that different taste to it.
Yeah.
And she's fetching this in. And I do know, sweetheart, that somebody's got the reflux because I've got the reflux here as well.
She says
Uh,
it's her.
right, thank you, because it's uncomfortable. She's uncomfortable because they're bringing it on to me, sweetheart. So I don't know if you take anything for that. I don't know, Rennies or whatever. But they're talking about this as well. And Tracy, I don't know why they're on about somebody you can place what had different coloured streaks in their hair. They didn't just have just one colour. They had different streaks in the hair. Because they're making me wear as though I've got purples and yellows and not saying they were them colours, but I've got different colours all in my hair at once. I don't know if it were one of these prides or they just did it because that's how they liked it.
She understands that her mum had bad reflux.
It is bad because it's making
Yeah.
me burn. It burnt my throat.
Mm.
It's burning my throat. And can I just say I've got hold of my locket, darling. So well, my cross and chain, but so I do know that that was handed down as well. Whether it be a locket or just a chain, I'm not sure. But there's that as well for you. And I've got to, I don't know, I've got a tattoo. Somebody's got a tattoo or talked about having a tattoo on the chest. On the chest. I've got something on my chest here, sweetheart. It's either a tattoo or they're talking about having one. Only delicate, nothing big, just something nice and delicate.
Tracy's daughter is a colour hairdresser.
So you can understand then, because I've got all these colours.
Yeah.
But can I just say that I'm going to leave you with this last thing, sweetheart?
And
Because
she has
I
the
don't,
chain.
right, thank you. So you'll have the ring, she's just said, she'll have the ring as well then. You've got to have got the ring as well. If you haven't, you should have the ring because it must have gone with chain.
Her son is wanting another tattoo.
Right. If she can let me know if
Okay.
it's going to be on the chest because I'm
Yeah.
feeling it's on the chest. That's where it is.
Well,
But I'll
I've
just,
got a little bit. If you finished, I've got a little
yeah,
bit.
I'll leave that. Yeah, that's fine then, Irene, if you want to continue.
Right. Oh yes, she has the ring as well, Jean. Yes,
Thank you.
she
So
just
another
put it
way.
on. She has the ring as well. Have you finished, sweetheart?
Yes, love, if you want to continue.
Right. Okay, Tracy. While Jean was talking, when she mentioned the colours and he came back with the colour and the hairdresser and that, I got the song "I Can Sing a Rainbow," and I know that you're very craft orientated, and I know what beautiful things that you do, sweetheart. But the colours and your hand is guided by spirits, and they're wanting you to do a little bit more of this, sweetheart. And I know that you're a very spiritual person. And what she's saying to me is take your inspiration from nature and the garden, which you do anyway. But very, very proud of what you do, sweetheart, with your hands and all the lovely crafty things that you do. Very, very proud of you. And she's making me laugh now. And she says, "Will you get that blooming church open?" So obviously,
Soon as we can.
this person knows what we do and why we do it, and can't wait for the church to be open. But we have to wait for the powers that be, as we all know. So anyway, my darling, I'm going to leave that with you, sweetheart. Okay, and I'm going to say no night and God bless, and we'll talk soon.
Can I?
Oh,
Is Leander still on the line?
I should think so. I haven't seen her for about, but she did say that she put a message on. So if you want to call her, she'll perhaps come back in.
Well, it's just that when I saw Leander's name shoot up, they've just said Leander and they've just said when I'm cleaning windows. So I don't know if she can understand a window cleaner or she must get her windows done. Is she still there? Because I've got a window cleaner or she needs.
Leandra, if you're very welcome, Tracy, very, very welcome. Leander, if you're still there, could you just, yes, she's still there.
Can you understand where there's the window cleaner, sweetheart, or you need yours doing? I'm not being personal, but I've got a gentleman talking about the windows and he's singing when I'm cleaning windows. You're not going to admit to cleaning them, are you?
Yes, she knows who that is.
Right, that's fine. So let me just work. I'll only give you a little snippet then, sweetheart, because they've just jumped in. So as he's talked about the windows, sweetheart, and things like that, can I just give you a toffee apple? I've got a lady here what would have made toffee apples, and she would have done them round bonfire night. So you might have to ask Mum, or when you were younger, where you'd have like a street bonfire or something like that, where there would be toffee and toffee apples made, and it's a memory because I've got you having a toffee apple.
I do need them doing. I'm assuming it's the windows she's talking about.
Toffee apples, because I do know that there's talk about the toffee apples and things like that, but more toffee apples than the chocolate apples. So the toffee apples mean more than the chocolate ones because they're fetching this in. And Leander, can I just say, darling, everything will be okay. You're still getting a bit stressed. And this lady and gentleman saying, come on, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. I don't know if you've shed a few tears within the last few weeks, sweetheart, but I'm getting a bit emotional. And they're saying, come on, you know, keep your chin up. You'll be all right.
She says she remembers getting the toffee apples.
I've just got them here. I've got a few and all. But please just listen to what I'm saying about you'll be all right, sweetheart. I don't know where the circumstances are.
Can't remember who made them.
Well, I just know I've got a lady, sweetheart. I can't see her. Normally, I like to know I'm talking to her because I'm nosy, as you know. But it just come to me. And she just said, talk about the toffee apples. But I do believe if you ask Mom, it would have been somebody on the street. I don't believe it was somebody in the family. I do believe it was somebody what would have made them as a friend and not. Thank
Definitely
you.
stress, things going on.
Because I do feel a bit weepy with you, Leander, and I feel as though at minute it's getting me down, and it's not just all this because this is getting everybody, but other things are getting you down as well, and this is just how I feel. And somebody, how can I put this? Somebody is really ready for a good telling off. Somebody needs to be sat down and had words with. That's the only way I can put it nicely. Anything? And I've just got to come in because I've just said, I'm not saying you're going to tell your husband off, Leander, at all, because I don't know what's what, but he must be able to understand the bike because I'm seeing him on a bike, a push bike. There's a memory with him on a push bike, but bless him. somebody, I don't know if it got the wrong colour or there would have been a girl's bike and not a boy's bike. So I know this. They're showing me your husband on a bike when he was younger, and I don't know if it was the wrong colour or I don't know bikes, but a boy's or a girl's bike. I feel as though there would have been a girl's bike. I don't know if you had to ride on a girl's bike at one point because they're laughing about it, and I don't know why. It's not funny. And somebody lived near the railways, darling, because I can hear the trains. Somebody lived near the railway because they used to like to watch and listen to them. Don't know if they were a train spotter or what, but they had something to do. They lived. Right. I only can see odd bit, so you'd have to tell me later, Irene, what they've said. Is that right?
We're going through adoption and worries. Yes, he had a trike, a three-wheeler.
Oh, bless him. Couldn't you get a two? Or couldn't you ride a two? No, something to do with a bike. Bless you.
And the railway
make
was at
sure
the back of the house.
Right,
Railway
because I
at
can
the back of my
see them.
house.
That's fine, sweetheart. I'm just going to leave you, Leander, because obviously I do talk to you a while. But can I just give you the summer flowers, sweetheart? The daffodils, the tulips, the crocuses. But I've got to give you the lily of the valley. They're talking about the lily of the valley, and you know I don't know my flowers. And the snowdrops, what means something to you, love. And I don't know if I've said about a tattoo, but I don't know if you're thinking about having something as well. And they're taking me to my arm, so I don't know if you're having something put on your arm or you've thought about it, sweetheart. And I'll leave your spirit's love with you.
Can I just say, Leander, that when Jean mentioned the tears, I got in my head, I got you sitting there with a box of tissues and tears were streaming down your face, sweetheart. So they're trying to come around you and giving you great big hugs and that, and they don't want you to go any further down. And we know that you've got some worries at the moment, sweetheart. I'm not going to go into it because obviously it's a live reading. So, but they're aware of all the worries that you've got on your shoulders at the moment, but you just keep going with it, sweetheart, and it will all come right. It's just going to take a little bit more time, but just take one each day as it comes, sweetheart. You've got a good family and a good man around you, and if you want a hug, have one. If you want to cry, have one. But they're saying that they are helping you, sweetheart. They're trying to help you from spirit, and they're saying that they want to see the smile back on your face as well, and they know about all the worries. And okay, darling, I'm just being told about something that's, I don't know if you're waiting for a letter to come or if there are letters on the way, but they're talking about some letters coming, sweetheart. So they're just saying trust in spirit and talk to them and talk to your family as well. It doesn't matter whether you was a bit wobbly or not, sweetheart. Nobody likes to see tears, but sometimes it's a release and it gets a lot out of you, out of you, darling. Okay, what we'll do, Leander, we'll put you in our healing book tonight, and we'll that'll be there till the end of June. So, and just remember that you're not on your own. You have spirit with you and you have your family with you, darling, and you are well loved. There's so much love coming through for you, sweetheart. And I'll leave it.
Can I just ask before Leander goes, can she understand somebody who had a pigeon chest? Or does she understand a pigeon chest where the chest came out of it? It's not really Leander, it's someone else, but I've got a young gentleman here what had the chest came out.
With a sticky, oh, that's when they have a sticky out breastbone, isn't it? Something like that. Yeah.
I
Can
only
you
know it as.
understand that, Leander, or have we moved on? She's not come back yet, sweetheart, so perhaps...
Just got a young lad. Went before his time, but I've got a pigeon chest.
No,
That's
not
on
really.
this.
No, not
That's
really.
fine.
That's
It
brilliant.
doesn't
Thank
matter
you
now.
very much for the
Thank
love.
you.
You're very, very welcome, darling. No, night. God bless. We'll send you healing and put you in our healing book.
Can I just ask them, please? Can anybody understand where a young lad went to spirit before his time? What had, and it's only I can explain it. I do apologise if it's got a proper term, but like a pigeon chest where the chest came out.
Oh, she's just come back. Ah, yes, young lad. Leander.
Yeah, right. Thank you. We found him, so nobody has to look for him. Bless him.
Right,
But I have
okay.
saying that there's a young boy who has come forward, and he is only young, is well, teenage, a young
Yeah,
lad, what came to spirit, and he did pass, bless him, with different circumstances. That's how I like to use it.
yeah.
He's not telling much yet because he says it's got to go to the right person, but there was a lot of people around, and a lot did help. A lot did help. It wasn't the first time, so I'm going to be very careful how this has
Right.
gone. But
Emma Bagley is saying, yes, my brother passed young. So that's all she's saying. And yes, Julie, you can put a name in our healing book. Just let us have the name and we'll put it in for you. But Emma Bagley is saying, yes, my brother passed young.
yeah, I know this lad passed young because he's coming in quite, I wouldn't say we're overly tall, but it's tall, for I always go with our Melvin, who were like 6'2", a tall young lad, and he'd got weren't big at anything. He was just an average build, just an average build lad. Liked his jeans, like all people do, t-shirts, things like that. I don't know my football at all, but for some reason he's talking about blue and white, so I don't know which football that is.
That's
There was
Everton,
different.
isn't it? Mind you, there's a lot of blue and whites.
Well, this is it, so I'm not going to say 'cause I don't know. I do know there were different circumstances why he passed.
And this is the young man that had the pigeon chest.
Well, I'm not sure. No, Leander took the lad with the
Oh,
pigeon
yes, of
chest.
course. Sorry, I do
No,
apologise.
this is
Yes,
another one. Yeah.
this is
No,
another
this is
young lad.
another one. Yeah.
Right.
Very smart lad. This one, very smart. Like to spend a
Well,
bit of time,
well,
looking after himself.
Megan's saying that she had a friend who was 19 when he passed away. Not great circumstances. Stacey says the blue and white is Everton or Chelsea. And Megan, Emma says he supported Spurs.
Right.
And Megan
Sounds
says he had a blue football kit in blue and white. So you've got two there. You've got Megan and you've got Emma. So you've got a double link, sweetheart.
right. I've got to say this young lad did look after himself, looked after his appearance, and because it's making me wear very bonny lad as well. Nice hair, looked after it. Very popular lad. Had a few problems, but very popular. Emma.
Emma's saying yes. He loved his clothes, and Megan's saying he was a smart lad.
Yeah, I've got where he were very popular with people. I'm just trying to think. Only got lovely, lovely piercing eyes. I don't know if they were bluey green, but he's making me wear, so his eyes were really, draw me in eyes. Very, very bonny.
Piercing, right? Yeah.
Beautiful eyes, as he's showing me.
Right.
He would be a lad. I like to laugh and a joke, and bless him. He's just said, yeah, he says, but girls liked me and all. That's what he just said. He got on very well. Very well with girls.
Emma says he supported Spurs, loved his clothes. He was loved by everyone. Very smart, very, very smart. And he was very well loved by everyone. That's all from Emma.
All right, so we still got to sort it out.
So we've still got a double link.
Yeah. Can I just say this? Right then, let's ask this lad to step forward so I can see him a bit more. Well then. I do know that as he's coming here, I do know he liked his. Oh, he's got lovely eyes. I can see his eyes. He liked his cars and bikes. That's what they would have talked about to when they used to hang around, the cars and the bikes, and they all got together and talked about them. But oh, come on then, sweetheart, come a bit closer because I can see your eyes and your eyes are beautiful. And that's something he did. And he's saying his funeral were better than even he thought. There were a very lot there at his funeral. He didn't realise how popular he'd be at his funeral. And people did the dress in blue, bless you. There was nobody who wanted a colourful passing. People didn't dress in dark clothes. They dressed bright.
If I can just jump in there, I've got where the family asked for everybody to wear some blue somewhere, or whether it was all blue and white, and the football kit, the scarves, everything, it was all
I don't
blue
feel
and
it was
white.
all, they wanted it all uplifting.
Yeah.
And right, wait, I'm trying to listen to his song. He's talking about his song. There was some laughter at his funeral. It wasn't, it were more uplifting funeral. It wasn't a dull, it were very uplifting, and they really celebrated his life.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Yeah.
uplifted here. And he's saying that's what he really liked, that they celebrated my life. He's saying because I saw it. The music were a bit, somebody picked something wrong with his music, or it didn't play properly. There was something to do. Or there were, wait a minute, darling, you're going now, you're muggling me up now. There were choice of 3 songs or something, and one of them weren't picked right, or there was a bit of a disagreement on one of the songs. He's not telling me what they were. He wanted upbeat. He didn't want.
Yeah. It's, oh, hang on. Emma's just, the funeral was out of this world. People had to stand up at the back, but can't take the wearing the blue and white, and I can't take the cats and bikes. The song played at the funeral is really key. It was a very important song for me and my sister.
I know the song meant something. But if you can't, if you can take it all, then sweetheart, will you just ask about the cars and the bikes? Because I don't know if it just like the cars. He talked about different.
She can't take the cars and the bikes, and she can't take the blue and white. Megan is saying he had many people there. He was cheeky, liked with the girls. We wore colours, not black. Lots of laughter, and Stacey said it wasn't a normal funeral.
Right. So I'm still stuck then.
And Emma's saying that she thinks we're with Megan because Megan's just put, can't remember the songs, but they were upbeat.
There were upbeat songs, and I know there was one that was like, well, shall we, shan't we? They couldn't make their mind up with one of them. They couldn't make their mind up whether to have, because they didn't think it were appropriate. But yeah, it were, because it were laughter, it uplifted it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of his name. There's got to be a Martin. They must be able to understand a Martin. I've just heard Martin mentioned. I'm not saying it's his name, but I said, come on, because I'm a bit confused.
I know where that is with Megan and Stacey. So
it's for Megan and Stacey.
Well, Emma's saying it's for Megan, and we know where the name Martin is.
Right. Well, I'm going to leave it there then.
And Stacey's saying Halo. I don't know if that's a song. If it is, it's one that I don't know, because it'll be a modern song.
Yeah, they were modern. They were upbeat.
Yeah.
They were upbeat, but they were just that one. But he did, to try to split it, he did to just mention Martin.
Yeah. Well, that's, so you are with Megan then, sweetheart.
Right. Thank you for, I know it took a while, but we had to get it right across. So
yeah,
at least
absolutely.
I've done what I should now. Thank you so much.
Right. So, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to leave
Now,
it there, Irene. I don't know if you've got anything to add.
well, with the relationship, I can't, because I know too much, and it's not fair. And it's not that I don't want to read for them, but I always make it a rule never to read for family. So I'm just going to leave it there. But I just know where bits and pieces are, and
Right, so at least I
so
can understand, and I've got it to where it should be.
yeah. Okay then.
Thank you.
Thank you, Megan and Stacey. Bless you. Thank you. We'll
Took a while, but I've got where it, bless him, I've got him where he should be.
yes, yeah. All right. Well, we'll say no
Do you
night
want
and
one
God
more?
bless.
Do one more
Right. Yeah, we can do another one if you want to. I'm just oh now
before my
then.
battery goes.
Right. Okay. We'll see if we can take a quick one. Oh gosh, right. I've got somebody here with me, and this is a lady, and she's talking about somebody who was in the police force or is in the police force, in the family. You're welcome, darling. You're very welcome,
Thank you.
daughter. Love
You're
you.
welcome.
And love you too, Meg. Right. It's and this lady's talking about this policeman who's either in the police force or there was somebody in the family that was something to do with the police. But they was working in a specific area of the police. It wasn't just ordinary policing. I've got sergeant stripes on the on the soldiers, on the shoulders, and it's, I don't know. Right, Bernadette, my husband was in the police force. Oh, right, okay, all right, Bernadette, sweetheart. Brianna says hi, Auntie Jean.
Hi.
Right, okay, Bernadette. Let's see where we're going with this. I've just got this gentleman with this lady is bringing him in, and his granddad. Right, thank you for that. I was just about to say this was family, but there was other members that was in the police force as well. But and you've just put that on. Thank you, sweetheart, because I've got granddad, as you've put him. He's just showing himself to me, and he's got one of the tall hats on, and he's got his truncheon, which of course they don't use now, I don't think, or they're not allowed to use, I don't know.
They have little batons now, but they can use them.
Yeah, but these were the big old-fashioned
The big
truncheons,
old
you know, the big
ones.
long ones.
We've still got
So
one.
have you?
Yeah.
Right, okay, let me see what they're wanting to know. I don't know if these two gentlemen are in spirit or on here, but okay, they're together. So I will just say that they're spirit side and they are together, because somebody's been asking questions, and somebody's also been sending up prayers, and everything has been heard, sweetheart. Spirit side, they've heard in spirit, but they say, would you please give them time to answer them rather than go 20 to the dozen, if you know what I mean. They're also making me aware that that they want to be coming around you. No, I don't know. They're talking about a young one down here that's that can be a little bit naughty, if you can understand that. That's the only way that I'm going to put it. And it's saying that he's a little bit cheeky and they're a little bit naughty, if you can understand that, sweetheart. And sometimes you're tearing your hair out because you don't know what to do with them. You don't know whether to give him a shake or and just say behave yourself, or just sit them in the corner with the, you know, and tell them to go on the naughty step. You just don't know what to do. They're trying to help you, sweetheart, because granddad's saying it wouldn't have happened in my day, if that makes sense. but they know that you're tearing your hair out, and they want trying to find a solution to help you, because he's just driving you mad. That's the only way that's the way he's putting it. That he's driving you mad, sweetheart. Okay. Now they're also saying that there's somebody around you in the family that is not very well at the moment. They've got something wrong with them. I don't know. They're making me get a little bit forgetful, so I don't know if this is to do with somebody just being quite forgetful, or if there's something that's not quite right in the head. Right, it's your son that's ill. Okay. Right. Okay, sweetheart. Thank you. Right. There's because they're wanting to bring healing in for you, sweetheart, not only for your son, but for you as well, because you need some healing as well, because you just want to help, but you don't know how. I'm getting hospital appointments, or doctor's appointments, and I'm also, I don't know if your son has carers, or if the carer is from the hospital, but I'm being shown the uniform of a carer, sweetheart, so I don't know. But they do come with a lot of love and around you, darling. And uh, they're also saying that, because sometimes there's a lot of emotion tonight. Sometimes you have a little cry, and you just want to put your head in your hands, and you think to yourself sometimes, how much longer, or can we do anything? They are listening, sweetheart. Spirit are listening, and they do hear your prayers, darling. They really do. Very quickly, could you take me somebody who was quite religious, because I'm being given a Bible here, so I don't know if that's a family Bible that you've got, or if it's something to do with the fact that you read the Bible at home. I don't know, but he needs them, but can't it? Right. Okay, sweetheart. Right. So that's why you're tearing your hair out, because you're in lockdown and you can't access. Oh dear. Right. Okay. I understand, darling. Well, uh, I don't know if there's anybody that you, because they're doing this text and volunteer thing, aren't they, where you can get people to bring you stuff if you're in lockdown and you can't access. I don't know if they can help you. But I'm just going to leave it there. But I just want you to know that Spirit is with you, sweetheart. And I've got to give you roses from Spirit, darling. Roses mixed in with carnations, but they're all different colours as well. And I've got an anniversary or birthday round about September, October time, sweetheart. And right. Yes, we was looking at the Bible. That's my husband's great aunt's over 100 years old. Oh, bless her. What a lovely age. Okay, darling. I don't know if Jean's got everything. Before I go, I've just got to say, have a look through the photographs. Have a look
I've
through the
just been sent
photographs.
photographs.
Okay, and I'm going to hand you over to Jean, Bernadette. So, no, night, darling. God bless you. And I'll put, if you give me your son's name, we'll put yourself and your son in my healing book. All right, darling. No, night, Jean.
Hi, Bernadette. It's only quick, sweetheart, because I don't want my phone to go dead. I charged my iPad up. My phone's going dead now. If I choose that. But can I just say, sweetheart, I've got memories of you when you used to sit on Grandad or Dad's knee, because they're saying, just feel for that comfort. Just feel, because they will put their arms around you and you will feel that. And even though you might brush your hair off your face and you think you've got cobwebs, that's how we describe it, on your face, can I just say, sweetheart, that they are touching you. They're coming in that close and touching you to let you know that they're there with you. And I know you've cried, because Irene was on about that, but I've got you've cried a blooming bathful, not just tears. You've really cried, sweetheart. They've just said, give her a nice cup of tea and I've got to give you a ginger nut. Now, I don't know who like ginger nuts, but I've got to give you a ginger nut, sweetheart. But there is love and they are around your spirit and you will feel them, sweetheart. They're just saying when you go to sleep tonight, that don't be frightened, but they will just touch your hand. But don't be frightened because they just want you to know that they're that close.
Yeah, she gets that.
And they're just there for you. And they also, sweetheart, I don't know if you can understand where somebody collected the little cherished teddies, I think they call them, because they're giving me little teddies for you, sweetheart. And they're just saying, them little teddies and the cherished teddies, I think they call them, that's you.
Yes, I have. I like them.
And I know Irene gave you September, October, sweetheart, but can I bring you back to January? Because you've got an anniversary in January, sweetheart. And I don't know if Irene said the roses, but can I give you the song, The Rose? Will you listen to the song, The Rose, sweetheart? Because there's beautiful words in it, and them words will help you. They really will. I want to. All right, wait a minute. Dolly. I've got Dolly, but I don't know if it's the Dolly pegs or you'll be able to understand an older lady when you were little, what used to be on your streets, and they called her Dolly. Because I'm hearing Dolly. It might have been a nickname for a lady, but I'm hearing Dolly, sweetheart. But they are with you. Your family are not far away, sweetheart. They will help as much as they can. If you do need help, then there's people out there what will still, you can still pick the phone up, darling. It's up to you. But your spirit family are with you and giving you all the love you can. Just watch and feel for that kiss, because they've just said they're going to blow you a kiss, so you'll just feel as though it's a draft just blowing past you, love. All right? And I will say good night and God bless.
She's just put, my friend gave me one. She's in spirit. I'm assuming she's talking about the cherished teddy. And
Yeah.
yes, the song was played at my friend's funeral last year. And she can take Dolly.
Thank you so much, sweetheart. Look after yourself. Take care.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be the end of our service for tonight. We hope that you've enjoyed it. We always enjoy coming and speaking to you and giving you messages from spirit, because we know how important it is, especially with this lockdown. Yeah,
just to show
all your
you that they're
families.
still around you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Am I closing in prayer, Jean?
Yes, darling.
Right. Well, we will hopefully see you again tomorrow night, but I'll speak to Jean afterwards about that. Could I just do a small closing prayer? Dear Lord, Divine Father God, thank you so much for all your help this evening with this service. We'd like to thank our families, guides, friends, helpers, and everybody else who came to talk to us tonight to give message of proof of life everlasting. As I close the veils between the two worlds for this evening's service, may I place a guardian angel on every head that has been listening in tonight, and hopefully we will see you again soon. Stay safe, stay well. Amen.
Amen.
Lord, keep us safe this night. Go on,
Secure
Jean.
from all our fears. May angels guard us while we sleep, till morning light appears. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Night night.
Thank you,
God bless.
everyone. Speak to you soon.